The year was 1650. The place, Le Puy, France. Father Jean-Pierre Médaille established the Congregation of the Sisters of St. Joseph with the unique vision that these women would go out into the city and divide the neighborhoods block by block. Discovering needs, the sisters would then work to serve those they called the dear neighbor. Today, St. Joseph's Academy students enjoy numerous opportunities to serve others, here at home, across the country, and around the world. Let's discover the true meaning of this year's Charism theme. Great-hearted love, serving the dear neighbor.
Well, one of my favorite service opportunities was when I went to Puerto Rico on a technology mission trip. And what we did there was basically we just went to an elementary school and we just helped them with their technology. They had some already, but they didn't really know how to use it. And so we just helped set it up for them so they could implement it into their classrooms and their learning activities, just to advance their learning. We have so much here at St. Joseph's, and it was just really amazing to just be able to bring that to them and just help them further their opportunities there.
We worked a lot with the little kids that are not the best situations at home. So we just got to play games with them, interact with them, and just have a lot of fun.
These kids, they may go home and they may not take a shower for 3 days, or they may not have a good meal, but they can still come out to recess and be nice to their friends and help each other. On my last day of the mission trip, the kids sang a song to us, and it was in Spanish and it was hard to understand, but the lady was next to me and she translated everything for me. But at the end, this kid named Albert, who spoke English a little bit but mostly Spanish, he told me, "I'll miss you" in Spanish. And I had no idea what he said. It was something God told me that this kid, you meant a lot to this kid.
It really opened my eyes. There was some challenges, especially with the language barrier, because most of the kids that I encountered didn't really, especially the younger ones, they didn't know any English. And so it was constantly a struggle, but it was good to be able to see the smile on their face every day. And every time we showed up, they were all excited and ready to go and really happy for us to be there.
When I went to Nicaragua, I went into the trip thinking that I was there to help these people and I was going to show them the face of Christ. And I guess one of the biggest lessons I learned was that they showed me Christ more than I could have ever showed them. We viewed these people in third world countries as so different from ourselves culturally and linguistically, but upon arriving home, I think we realized that we're all loved by the same God, and with that, we're all united as one human family.
So one of my favorite mission trips I've been on with St. Joseph's Academy was our mission trip to New Orleans with our sister school in Cleveland, Ohio. We got to help rebuild after the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. What I gave to them is nothing compared to what they gave to me. And just the memories that I've made with our sisters in Cleveland, Ohio, we still keep in touch, and we really are sisters, not just sister schools. We're actually sisters now.
So one of my favorite things that I've done at St. Joseph's is sticker sacks, which is every Tuesday morning. And it all started my sophomore year whenever we read the story, The Invisible Thread by Laura Strauss. I am privileged enough to have 3 meals a day, 3 hot meals a day, 3 meals that my mom so graciously cooks for me every day. But it's crazy to think that some people don't even have that. Some people have one meal, and that meal is the sticker sack that I make in the morning. And it's something that my mom makes them. Sometimes I forget my mom makes them because she's just so changed by it. And I've done it where I've gotten my friends over at my house and we've just made sticker sacks. I know that Big Sis, Little Sis does things where the big sisters get their little sisters, or the little sisters are like, can we make sticker sacks? And that's what they do, so.
I had the opportunity to go to Philadelphia on a service trip, and there we were able to learn more about how to be a leader and how to take the charism of St. Joseph's back to our schools here and wherever we are.
We went to a community center and we cleaned up a park. It was a good feeling, They had kids running around the park, and it was just like, I'm helping these little kids. Their community is becoming better than what it was before.
The more that we worked with them, the more we were like, they really do love us helping. They were smiling and laughing the entire time that we were helping them, and it was just so great.
It's fun to help the community and pick up the trash. It gives you a great feeling, especially afterwards. You go back to, like, we went back to the college where we stayed at, and you felt like a sense of relief and like knowing that you did something good for other people and just doing that small little thing.
I was able to travel to Wichita this summer, and I helped serve the sisters, ate with them at lunch, we sang with them. Just like making special connections and leaving a lasting impact makes you feel so good about yourself. I love that feeling, but not only do I want to serve to get that feeling, I want to serve to help others and make a difference in other people's lives.
A service opportunity that I was given this summer was to go to Labadieville, Louisiana for Blessings on the Bayou. We got some really awesome responses from the people that we helped. In particular, one lady, we went to her house and she had a statue of Mary that she adored, and it had some mildew on it. So me and one of my friends took the statue of Mary and we washed it down and wiped it down, and that to her was so special that we actually took something that she cared about and made it beautiful.
One of my favorite service opportunities was going on the Calagata mission trip. And I remember this one little girl, she was 3 years old, and at the end of the trip she came up to me and said, "I want you to meet my parents." And so I met her mom and she goes, "You don't know how much of an impact you've made on my little girl's life and my life, because for a week you made her so happy, and sometimes we don't get that." And that made me realize that small things are what really impacts everybody.
Well, I just recently went on a mission trip to Mobile. The first few days we just went to different schools and like helped with playgrounds. Throughout the whole mission trip, they were supposed to have like 3 days of service, but since SJA there were 40 of us, we finished all of our service for the 3 days in one.
I think the best part was the bonding, because we got to bond all week with like just the SJA girls. And then the last night I remember we went out and it was by this beautiful like Mary's Grotto place. And we all just talked about like what the trip meant to us and how we were gonna go back home, and we just made like friendships that last forever and ever.
I'm one of the founders of the Hygiene for Hope initiative. What we did with Hygiene for Hope was we saw a need in the community. We saw that women that were homeless and financially disadvantaged, they did not have access to some of the feminine care products that they need that are really essential for all women. As human beings, we all want to be clean and we all want to feel a sense of human dignity, and we all have the right to feel that way. I feel like we don't really count our blessings, and one way to count your blessings is to give back and to really give some of your blessings to people who may not be as fortunate.
When I make someone else happy, when I make someone else's day, it makes my day a bit, because if I can make someone else happy, then I feel like I've done what God wanted me to do that day.
Serving others is a big part of our Catholic faith, and I didn't realize that until high school. And so, serving others and being able to do mission trips and through the service program has really strengthened my faith and has brought me closer to God.
Even though you're helping others, you also help yourself, and you feel something like as to where if you didn't do anything, you wouldn't feel that exact feeling.
I love that our school emphasizes serving the dear neighbor with great-hearted love. Whether you think you have a lot in common with them or not, or whether they're your friends or not, it doesn't matter. We have to love them and serve them without distinction, and that's something that we learn here at St. Joseph's, and we really put that into practice.
You get to be the light in someone else's life that they don't get. Like, their family life might be rough, like they might have rough times, but you just get to be that one person that they can like depend on or that they can look up to.
It gives us the opportunity to like really experience what service does for us and for our dear neighbors. And it really instills a sense of responsibility in us, and whenever we can actually fulfill that, it just feels great.
It's hard to get out of your comfort zone, and it's hard to do that, but you learn about yourself and you grow in your faith.
I've been able to engulf myself in the service and learn that that is truly something that I'm called to do. And in the future, I do plan to go on mission trips and be a part of that.
Serving the dear neighbor is one of the reasons I came to this school. It wasn't just because of the education, it was because this was a school that had so much to do with service, and I just love serving people.
I think it's just so great that St. Joseph's gives us the opportunity, and it gives us the habits too. It forms our habits of service. And so once we're in those good habits and we know how good it feels to serve others and the joy that it gives to others, I think that we'll definitely carry it throughout our lives.